Albion Online is a free-to-play MMORPG released by Sandbox Interactive with a large focus on team-based PvP activity. In it, players are encouraged to specialize into one type of activity through the extensive fame leveling system, encompassing different kinds of weapons, skills, and jobs. And here you see me chopping wood. This is going to be the background footage for the rest of the video. You see, Albion Online's main draw is in fact it's a large-scale PvP and guild system, which normally allows for politics and large-scale combat. However, I find that that's not what really drew me into this game. What really did was the player-run economy. You see, there's this funny thing in this game that you can do called the Gathering. What you basically do is boot up old-school RuneScape and click on nodes for 2 hours and try to make it back home with your haul. In earlier stages, you can do this fairly easily in safe, no PvP areas. However, as the nodes get more valuable, the safety net starts to drop off. Areas will begin to have non-toggleable PvP against other players with no white knights to save you, and nodes will become far more scarce, forcing players to go out and look for them. Sure, you can wait in a safe PvP area for approximately 2 hours for one piece of wood, but if you want any kind of fame gain, you're gonna have to go into the Outlands, a full loot PvP area full of guild activity. And that's the main draw for me in this game, clicking on nodes for hours on end. I get that there's activities like PvE dungeons and PvE game modes and owning your own island and getting money by running a puppy mill, but I'd rather become an economic terrorist by siphoning high-tier resources that take days to spawn and hoard them in my vault, never to sell them and create a resource sink. Now you might be saying to yourself, hey, if you like mindlessly grinding like this, why don't you actually go play RuneScape instead? And my answer is that I'm not a nostalgia-filled old man. RuneScape released 21 years ago. Grow up. Gathering in Albion Online has a special draw similar to that of certain Minecraft prison servers in that at higher tiers of loot, there's a greater risk of being ganked by other players trying to kill you. The risk of being killed and invalidating your entire looting adventure adds to the experience in a way safe gathering experiences can't. If there was no risk, I honestly don't think I would find myself gathering for very long. Now what would you actually do with these resources if you didn't want to just hoard them? Well, you could be boring and sell them at your local city's bazaar at market price, or you could be really cool and craft them and sell them that way. You see, literally every single item in the game is crafted by another player. It'll even tell you who crafted each piece of gear you're using. This is the entire lifeblood of the game. The constant guild PvP happening all over the map requires players to have to re-gear after having lost their items from dying. If they're not part of a guild that has people on the clock recrafting gear and gathering resources from them, they're gonna have to spend their cold hard cash. And before you say that you actually got items as a drop from mobs, those items are also crafted by other players. At the center of the main island is a strange town called the Carlion, where players can sell items that are required by the game system itself for drops, typically at prices much higher than you'd normally get at local cities. You'll find a large majority of spreadsheet warriors sitting here with a strange variety of items waiting to make their haul. The way the game calculates prices is a bit complicated, but for the sake of simplification, prices go up when more items are needed by the system, and prices go down when there are too many items the system has. When this occurs, sometimes the system will just straight up delete items from its inventory to increase prices again, and I don't know why people allowed this to happen, but it just happens. And that's why I give Albion Online a 6 out of 10. I don't find large-scale combat and guild politics interesting, but when I want to go click on trees for 10 hours, I know exactly what I'm going to boot up. I'll know that when I cut down those trees, I'm having a non-zero impact on the rest of the game because my wood is actively preventing other guilds from being able to participate in the actually fun part of the game, combat. I'm never playing Final Fantasy 14, get pranked.